Yeah.
That feels good.
Yeah, that feels good.
That feels good.
Yeah.
And for that reason.
And for that reason.
All right, I think we're ready to move on.
Let's move on.
We're going to talk about Rage 2.
Whoa!
And Michael Huber and myself played this, and I think when you are talking about an id Avalanche game, a sequel to Rage with Michael Huber, the first question you have to ask is, hey, Huber, how's the shotgun?
Yeah, very, very good. I would say that's the first question you ask here about any game with a gun.
Any game without a gun, you ask.
You're right.
Yeah.
Just any game.
Any
How's
game.
the shotgun in Mario Kart? You're
Yeah.
right.
Any movie?
Captain Spirit, how's the shotgun?
Yeah, how's the shotgun?
Good shotgun. Good kills.
Shotgun of emotions.
Yeah.
Shotgun of emotions, dude. Extremely good shotgun. Top tier. It's it. It's it.
Yeah.
Top tier.
Yeah.
Here, there's a word that pops into my head when I think about Rage 2, and that is flow motion.
Yeah.
This game is all about staying on the move
Yes.
and dealing with threats from
Yes.
all directions
Yeah.
in a really, really cool way.
Enemies come out of nowhere to swarm you.
It's the first Rage.
Yeah.
Yeah, climbing up over
Yep.
planks and stuff and dropping from the ceiling and...
Yes, but there's more.
Yeah.
There's just more dudes. Yeah. And the big thing in this game, the kind of the central hook of the combat that everything else is tied around, is this idea of a combo and a kill meter. So as you kill dudes, if you kill them in quick succession, you'll build up this combo, and if you do that, you'll build up kind of this overpowered mode where you're so much stronger in all areas.
I just want to call it rage mode.
Yeah, rage mode, sure. Yeah. And you think about it and you're like, well, okay, if you have this assault rifle and you have all these guys that you can see in the distance, couldn't you just play it safe and pick them off without really having to get in there and engage with all of the mechanics of this game? And the way that they design the enemies and the way that they design the locales makes it so you cannot play it safe. Rage 2 does not let you play it safe. There are guys
Nice try.
that are fully armored, and even with the shotgun, which you don't get right away, they withhold the shotgun for a little bit of time. Yeah,
It's a gift.
Make you earn it.
You'll
Or
shoot a
build
guy.
up to it, Huber.
Yeah.
Huber said it best. The shotgun is almost like a stagger. So you'll shoot them, and they'll get stunned for just a little bit, and you can go off and finish them with a melee, or you can finish them off with your stomp ability,
Or
your shatter
another
ability.
shotgun to
or
the
another
head.
shotgun.
Half of their head will blow off. Limbs come off. Very bloody game.
Soldier
And these
Fortune
are
style?
these
Yeah,
are psychotic
excellent. Yeah.
post-apocalyptic warriors, so that they're not staying behind cover either. They're like, no, I'm gonna charge at you, and we're gonna in our demo. You were basically in this ruined corporate building, and they would run up both sides of the stairs, and so you really needed crowd control, and that's where the wing stick came in. It is so much fun without aiming at all, just having a quick shotgun blast, throwing a wind stick in a dude's head, jumping up in the air, and then slamming down, and you just get it immediately. You understand how this game is supposed to flow, and you tap into it immediately.
Yeah, my favorite part was the end, because you come up on a balcony, there's people on the bottom, there's 5 or 6 people, there's explosive canisters, and like Ben was saying, you just have so many options in combat. You have a ton of guns, you have the wing stick, you have the grenades, you have the rage mode, you have the shock pound, and the dash move. So it's just tying all these things into each other, and that encounter was so special for me because I threw a bunch of grenades, just spammed them. You can hold 10 of them at a time.
Whoa.
So I threw 7 grenades down, but the enemies are really smart. They don't just run up and sacrifice themselves. I threw 7 grenades all over the place and maybe only killed a few of the enemies because they got out of the way. You jump down, you use your shotgun, and it's hard for me to not use the shotgun, but I felt incentivized to switch to the assault rifle because enemies started to stay back. I don't know if that was a reaction because they knew I was using the shotgun, but enemies kind of kept their distance. It just feels good.
Yep. They're not afraid to overwhelm you at all times. You never feel safe. And yeah, it was really fun. And I think of Bulletstorm.
Mm-hmm.
I think where the same kind of idea was, hey, keep chaining things together.
Yeah.
But it was also nice because in like Bulletstorm, you're going for creativity, right? Which is part of the appeal. Where it's how many different ways can I kill them? And here it's like, okay, I just need to. How efficient can I possibly be? It's like I'm throwing necessarily. I don't need the variety, but I need to constantly move. I can't stop and think for a second. You're just kind of acting on impulse, which is really an exciting, adrenaline fueling moment within the game.
It's hard to put into words how impactful this combat feels. You know, if you've played Doom 2016, obviously,
Right? Yeah,
Like,
that is honestly the closest comparison.
Just feels so good. The machine gun fire sounds, you know,
the sound is so good.
so powerful.
And you're firing the assault rifle and you're firing the shotgun. And you're like, man, that has some impact in it. And then you go into this overpowered state, and you're like, oh no, I'm really killing guys. Before we were just kind of being nice, but now they're really getting messed up. Yeah. It deepens the sound of every bullet in a really cool
Did you guys
way.
get to drive it all?
Yeah.
What?
Nani?
No, just a combat demo. Yep. Giving us the id side of the demo.
They
not
showed
the
us
avalanche.
before we got to play. They made us watch, like on every monitor, they make you watch a 5-minute video, and they showed off plenty of the driving there, and it looked nice. But no, we didn't get to feel it.
Yeah.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Did you get to talk to any NPCs?
No.
No, so the doctor, I'm blanking on his name right now, but there's a doctor in the first Rage, where if you play that game, you'll know him very well. He sort of set up this mission for you, and he's talking to you as you're going through it. But beyond that, there were no character models in the world that we were talking to.
It wasn't the E3 demo or the thing we saw, right? At the press conference?
It was.
Yeah.
Oh, it was?
Well,
Okay.
It
Mostly.
went beyond that. So you see the very beginning of that mission in the E3 press conference, but it goes further.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's one thing to have great sound and great impact with the weapons and, you know, enemy variety, but one of my favorite things when it comes to combat is the locales and the way the stage is set up with the enemies and how they react. And just from the brief hands-on time, it was so great, you know, having the multi-layered stage, people coming in from the top, from the bottom. It's just a great playground to play around in. And even the demo or the video they showed us before was just highlighting all of these places that you're gonna go and all these different enemies. Like, so much.
The most interesting one that they showed in the 5-minute video was just kind of like this lush, green, swampy place. And you're like, man, I never saw anything
there was like
this.
I recognize that from the trailer. I know what you're talking about.
And like Japanese bamboo,
Yep.
and then the trailer too, that like sword samurai looking like mutant character.
Brett, I do want to revisit. I actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I don't think it goes farther than what you saw during the press
E3?
conference. Yeah, it was basically that.
But yeah, they like chopped that up
wrong.
into parts, so you get the whole.
Yeah, it was. I think that's why I was like, it goes beyond that, and it doesn't actually go past that ending point, but you get to see more because you're
in between.
Yeah, all the in between. Exactly.
Cool, awesome. So it's safe to assume you guys came out
Feels
more
really
impressed.
good. So, but Jones, your reaction, you know, it's like, why? I wonder why they didn't show us the car stuff. You know, should we look deeper into that and theorize? Maybe it's just not ready yet, or you know, maybe they just wanted to focus on how good the combat was.
Or open world demos are hard to do at E3. You know that if you have a limited time with it, and then you walk up to the person playing, and they're like, "I just drove in a circle for 20 minutes." You're like, "Oh well, we would have liked if you would have used those abilities and talk about that." And yeah, maybe they'll have another demo later on that'll specifically focus on the driving or open up the map a little bit.
The thing I was most disappointed about with the demo is the grenades, which really pair well with like your slam ability because damage is determined by height. We didn't get to play with those grenades. We didn't get to knock people up in the
Just
air
the normal
or ourselves up in
explosive
the air.
ones. They were really cool though. They're just the normal grenades.
Yep.
Oh my gosh. 10 at a time, Brad.
So we talked about the wing stick being quick crowd control, and the one other point that I want to bring up, in case you're not familiar with it already, is that you can also use the wing stick to keep assaulting guys that go behind cover. So if you lock onto somebody and they go around a pillar, for instance, you can actually curve your shot and it will hone in on them and mess them up, and that is also pretty cool.
Yeah, it's like you just have to hold it on for a bit and then it'll lock on.
Yeah, it'll blink. A
missile.
reticle will blink and then it will go solid.
And even just the regular throw out, would stun them.
Yep.
So if there's a bunch of guys and a heavy armored person comes, you just throw the wing stick
CC.
and they're just like, ugh.
Yeah, I love that animation as the blade is slicing through them and
Yeah.
they're just shaking. And you're
Yeah.
like, oh, okay. But yeah, it was very, very fun. Not a tremendously long demo. No.
Sure.
But much like Anthem, more interested than I was before the demo.
Great.
Yeah, good stuff.
Yeah.
Good shooting.
Nice. Good affirmations of action games we were curious about that we are excited to see more.
Yes.
I'm excited to play a demo that we're not being rushed through. I'm excited to drive in Rage 2. So hopefully you'll hear more details before these games come out. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a brief little break, and we are going to come back with a very lengthy conversation about Kingdom Hearts led by Mr. Michael Damiani. It's going to be very fun. You don't want to miss it. Stay tuned, everybody.